Hi, I'm Mr. Huber, and in this video I would like to know what sine, cosine and tangent of pi over 6 is, or 30 degrees in the degree measure. For that, I've already prepared this unit circle, where you have a 30-degree angle, and obviously the blue line is going to be your sine. This is sine, and this is cosine. Here we go. Now, clearly, sine of 30 degrees is very easy to know. Because look, this is a 90-degree angle. So we know this is 60 degrees. So this is half of an equilateral triangle. So if this is 1 up here, then this is half of it. Well, you could produce this, and you would see this is an equilateral triangle now. So this must be half of it. So it's very easy, 0.5. And now you can work out the cosine. So let's label this x. X squared plus a half squared is equal to 1 squared. So x is 1 minus a quarter and the square root of it. We've done it before. So this is the square root of 3/4. So it's the square root of 3 over 2. So now we know that sine of 30 degrees is 0.5 or 1/2. Cosine of 30 degrees is the square root of 3 over 2. And tangent of 30 degrees is obviously opposite over adjacent, so 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2. Well, you multiply by its reciprocal, 1/2 times 2 over the square root of 3. So it's 1 over the square root of 3, or when expanded by the square root of 3, you get the square root of 3 over 3. So that's your tangent. So we can fill this in. Sine of 30 degrees is 0.5 or 1/2. Cosine is the square root of 3 over 2. And this one here is the square root of 3 over 3. Well, some people say it's easy to memorize because you could say it's the square root of 0 over 2 plus the square root of 1 over 2, not plus, but square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, and square root of 4 over 2. Sine is from left to right. And here, square root of 0 over 2, square root of 1 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, square root of 3 over 2, and square root of 4 over 2. So you could memorize it like this: sine from left to right, square root of 0 over 2 up to square root of 4 over 2. And from right to left for cosine, square root of 0 over 2 up to square root of 4 over 2. Well, it's important that you memorize these values because they will be very important. Why are they going to be so important? Look, if, let's say you had something like this, a unit circle, and then you had something like this. This is 135 degrees. 135 degrees. Or in the radian measure, that would be 3 pi quarters, because pi quarters is in fact 45 degrees. 3 times 45 degrees is 135. Well, then you would have your sine here and your cosine here. And you would know that this is 45 degrees, okay? And you can read it, more or less read it off the drawing. with the table and you memorize the table, well, it's 45 degrees. So this will be square root of 2 over 2, but in the negative, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1. But we're going to practice this. So the cosine of 135 degrees is in fact minus the square root of 2 over 2. Well, it's like the 45 one, but in the negative. And here, it's like the 45 one for your sine, but in the positive. So this will be the square root of 2 over 2. So you could say sine of 135 degrees without using your calculator is the square root of 2 over 2. Cosine of 135 degrees is minus the square root of 2 over 2. Okay, so we're going to use it for this purpose, to know what your sine, cosine, or tangent value for angles that can be made up by these angles 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90 degrees is. So it's very easy to do, but you have to memorize this table. Okay, hope it wasn't too difficult. See you in the next one.